So I never understood why people would go on drinks as the first date instead of dinner because I always felt like it was just too low effort for me that you don't even want to take me to like a dinner spot until I
Hello everyone, welcome back to The Date and View. In today's video, women share their worst dating stories of 2026, opening up about the most awkward, shocking, disappointing, and unforgettable dates they've experienced. From major red flags and strange encounters to moments that completely caught them off guard, they explain what went wrong and why these dates stood out for all the wrong reasons. These stories highlight the realities, frustrations, and unpredictability of modern dating, offering honest insight into what many women are navigating in today's dating scene.
I was just scrolling through my camera roll and I saw a photo that unlocked such a traumatic memory for me. Of course, my first reaction was like, I need to tell you guys this story because it's absolutely fucking crazy. Back in my single days, I matched with a man on Hinge. We went out, it was good. So then the next day I was like, I'm gonna bring Olive to the dog park. And he was like, oh, cool, I'll meet you there with my dog. I was like, okay, yeah, what could go wrong, you know? Thank God I brought my best friend with me. So we show up to the dog park, everything's great. Olive's doing her thing. She's like a big independent play girl. Like she has her ball, she's great. He shows up with his dog. His dog enters the park and the vibes were off. As a mother, my intuition was that the vibes were off. His dog goes near Olive a few times. Olive is not vibing with it. Like she showed her teeth, whatever. I thought the dog was gonna read the room. His dog goes up to Olive. They get in the most massive fight. I'm talking like a terrifying, everyone's worst nightmare dog fight. This man is proceeding to stand there and do absolutely nothing. Nothing, right? So as a mother, I'm not gonna literally let these dogs kill each other. I go stick my hand in front of Olive's face to pull her face back. His dog bites down on my hand. Granted, like I know what you're supposed to do when dogs fight. I don't fucking care. I wasn't gonna let it happen. So speaking of the devil, when I finally got them separated, like my best friend has Olive. Olive is screaming at the top of her. I've never heard a dog scream like that. It was actually terrifying. His dog had bit through her leg, essentially. So we're like running to the car with Olive. I'm like calling my sister, like my brother-in-law at the time. I'm like, you guys need to help me. Like I'm bringing her home. She got bit, like whatever. I'm calling like the emergency vet. Keep in mind, this entire time, I know his dog bit down on my hand, but I'm too scared to look at my hand. I'm gonna insert photos because I can't make this up. This is actually the craziest thing that's ever happened to Olive and I, and also the worst date in the entire world, as you can imagine. So this was little Olive with her cast. Like, are you kidding me? So cute. But she just ended up getting staples and then the cast came off and she's fine now. Now, this is what's crazy. This was my hand after. Now I'm gonna show you a side-by-side of that hand next to my other hand later that night. Like, are you kidding me? Do you see that? That's crazy. Don't trust these men and don't let your dog finagle with their dog.
Get ready with me while I tell you about how I went on a date with a guy and he brought no money to pay. I actually never told any of my friends this because I continued to go out with him after. I'm actually just embarrassing. In my defense, this was a long time ago and I was completely infatuated with him for no reason, but let's just cut to the story. But the date was actually pretty last minute. I was leaving for a vacation soon and he was like, let's get breakfast. We go to this diner, so cute. Basically, he orders this like big like house breakfast, like one of those that has like the sausage, the eggs, the toast, everything. And I got like this like egg white wrap or something and he's like, let's get a stack of pancakes to share. I have a little bit, but like I love chocolate, but I'm just like, you know, when you are so goddamn excited that you can't even eat, like your adrenaline is just pumping. So needless to say, there were some pancakes left over and I will give it to that man. Like he could eat. He really put a lot of it down. Like he had his whole breakfast and probably like 4 of the pancakes. And these were big. They were big as hell. The waitress comes and she's like, she kind of just drops the check. The diner was really, really busy. So they were trying to turn over the tables. This is actually a really important detail that I forgot to mention. He has been to this diner before. He loves this diner. For the entire first 10 minutes of our date, he was just talking about how much he loves this diner. She's like, do you guys want me to box up these pancakes? He's like, yeah, I'll take them. So whatever. She boxed them up. We continue talking. We both basically ignored the check on the table for a little while. He's like, all right, you know, I think we got to get out of here. He picks up the check. He's like, oh shit, I forgot. It's cash only. And he's like, do you have any? No, I don't, which I genuinely didn't. And then I think like the waitress like kind of hears like the dilemma because it's such a small place. And she's like, oh, we have an ATM right here. Like, he's like, you know, I actually don't think I have my wallet on me. Would you mind taking some cash out? I'm like, sure, I guess. So I get up, I go to the ATM, and he stays sitting at the table waiting for me to pay. Actually, like a little freaking princess diva. As I am reading the bill to pay, he has the audacity to go, oh, tip her nice, I like her. We are walking back to his car. He's still holding the pancakes. He then turns to me and goes, you know, I guess these are technically yours now. Hands me the box of pancakes and drops me off at home.
I desperately need to debrief with someone about this date I just went on. I got set up on a blind date from a friend of a friend. When I tell you I was so excited for this date, this is my first date of 2026. I have rushed from work to get to this date on time. I arrive at the place, he's obviously not there. Now, mind you, I've never seen this man in my life. I've never met him. I don't even know what he looks like. All I know is his first name. I go up to the hostess, say his name and say I have a reservation. She says, no, we're actually closing for a private party. Now, I'm confused because I was told we had a reservation and this hostess is being unnecessarily mean. She's huffing and puffing. Okay, you can sit down. I sit down. She snatches the food menu from me, says, we've already had last call. You can't order food. I'm like, okay, I'll just order a couple drinks. She comes back and she's like, actually, I'm just going to cancel your reservation because you need to be out of here in half an hour anyway. So there's no time for you to order drinks. Already, I'm stressed about going on a blind date with someone I don't know. And now they're literally kicking me out on the streets. I'm like, oh my God. I go out onto the street. I find another bar and I text my friend saying, you can say to this man, I'm across the street in another bar when he gets here. Time is ticking along. We're meant to meet at 7. Mind you, I'm hungry because I've gone straight from work. 7:15 rolls around. 7:20 rolls around. It's now 7:25 and I'm ordering my Uber and I'm calling my friend like, I'm really annoyed. What kind of disrespect for my time is this? As I'm ordering my Uber at 7:30, this man turns up. This man comes in a very ill-fitting grey suit, barely apologizes for being half an hour late. And unfortunately, I have a terrible attitude because I'm very annoyed. You're half an hour late. It's just so rude and disrespectful. I start to try and get myself out of this funk. I'm trying to ask him questions and I start to realize this man is asking me 0 questions. He really does not care to get to know me at all. I can tell he's interested, but he's just not a good conversator. For example, he's talking about how he loves to ski. And I was like, that's amazing. I'm asking him all these questions about skiing, where he's been. I volunteered this information. I actually love skiing as well. I learned how to ski when I was 3 years old. He was like, oh, okay, right. Just dead silence, not asking me any questions about the information I just volunteered. That's how the whole date went. Like, I was like, you really don't care to get to know me or speak to me on any kind of level. Also asked me, so what's the difference between a nurse and a resident? What? There's no way you're saying that to a male doctor. Also kept going on about how busy his job was because he works in finance. I'm like, I'm a whole physician. Past month, I got 4 days off. I am so tired, but I still managed to come on time. Attitude to be able to ask you nice questions, even though you were late. And all you can talk about is how important your work is, how you work with billion-dollar clients. I don't really care. It honestly just solidifies to me that I can't be bothered with men. I actually kind of give up. I'm so happy and comfortable being alone in my gorgeous apartment. For someone to come into my life, they have to, at the very least, be interested in what I have to say. They have to, at the very least, want to get to know me. And that sounds crazy and like a bare minimum, but unfortunately, most men are just not even giving that. Anyway, if you have some dating stories, let me know in the comments to help me feel a little bit better.
So I never understood why people would go on drinks as the first date instead of dinner, because I always felt like it was just too low effort for me, that you don't even want to take me to like a dinner spot, until I had the worst date of my life. I've never had a bad date. I'm a very good conversationalist, so it's very hard for me to have a bad date. But let me just tell you the story. So I met this guy who I felt was a good match for him. You know, we'd spoken for like a couple weeks before we went on a date. He asked me where I want to go or like what's my favorite food. I tell him it's sushi. He's like, oh, I'm actually allergic to seafood. And I was like, oh, that's fine. Like, I like steak too. I feel like that could work. So on the day of the date, he asked if I want him to pick me up. And I said, oh no, it's okay. We can meet at the restaurant. The restaurant's like 10 minutes from my place. And so I arrived to the place on time and he's late. Maybe like 15 minutes before the date, he asked me what's my favorite color. And I'm assuming, look, whenever that happens, it's like usually they're going to buy you flowers or something. So I said red. And I just want to ask, like, if you were to buy flowers for somebody and they tell you their favorite color is red, what would you buy them? So I show up on time to the restaurant. He shows up like 10 minutes late and he tells me to come outside to his car. So I'm like, okay, sure. So then I go outside. He's like, I have something in my car for you, blah, blah, blah. He asked me to sit inside and I'm like, no, like, I don't know you. Like, this is the first time I'm meeting you. Like, what is it that you have to show me? So he pulls out the flowers and they're like filler flowers. They're like, I was just, I mean, I don't know if I'm just ungrateful or what, but I saw them and I was like, oh, thank you. Like, can we just leave this in the car? Like, I don't really want to carry it with me into the restaurant. Like, it's, I don't know. I just didn't really like them. But, and also the fact that he was late, I was like, if you would have just been on time, like, you would have made a better impression on me than buying these flowers that I did not like. So leaving the car, he asked me to get in the car again. And he's like, oh, like, get in the car while I, like, to go valet it. And I'm like, why would I do that? I don't know you. Like, I don't know you. Like, I don't want to get in your car. Just go valet it. So he goes and valets the car. We go back inside. We get seated. And so we're at the steakhouse, and it's, like, very beautiful inside. I really liked it. We sit down, and we're across from each other. And he mentions a couple times, like, he can't hear me, so, like, because the restaurant's loud, so, like, can he sit next to me? And I was like, no, like, you know, I like to be, like, face-to-face with somebody. I don't really like having someone sit next to me unless, like, I know you more. I feel like that's more intimate. He asked me a couple times, and I say no multiple times. We go to order the appetizers, and he tells me, oh, get whatever you want. There was hamachi crudo on the menu. I always get hamachi crudo, and I tell him, I've already told him this, like, I love hamachi crudo. It's one of my favorite appetizers. I will always get it. Like, if I see it on the menu, I'm getting it. So he also said, get whatever you want. So I was like, okay. So I ordered the hamachi crudo. And then whenever it comes, he's like, you know that I'm allergic to this, and you still got it. And I was like, well, it's for me. Like, you know, like, what do you mean? And he goes, oh, okay, I see how it is. And I'm just like, okay, like, I'm uncomfortable. I've been uncomfortable, honestly, for a while. But anyways, and then as the night goes on, he keeps being like, I can't hear you. Can I just sit next to you? Can I just sit next to you? Like, what if I just go over there and sit next to you? And I'm like, dude, no means no. Like, I said no the first time. I'm not gonna change my mind. Like, no means no. This man is 40, by the way. I had to explain. I had to be like, hey, listen, you know, like, no means no, right? Like, when I say no, like, it means no. Like, if you keep asking, it's gonna be the same answer. And then after I kind of gave him that conversation, he, like, stopped. He stopped asking. But then he started telling me about how like, his ex was Asian and how much he likes Asian women. And I was just like, oh, okay, like, that's good for you. I don't know, like, what's this got to do with me, you know? But that really turned me off too, like, whenever a guy does that. And then he starts asking me if I want to go out with him after dinner. And I was like, oh, like, but I already knew I did not want to, like, ever see him again. So I was like, no, like, I have plans with my friend after, like, I'm not gonna be able to go. And he starts saying, oh, like, just ditch your friends. Just tell them that you met your husband and that you really want to hang out with me more and, like, blah, blah, blah. Like, just tell them how, like, you met this wonderful person and you just want to spend more time with them. You had such a good time on the date. And in my head, I'm like, bruh. I was like, first of all, I would not do that, even if, like, I actually thought he was gonna be my husband. And also, I didn't fucking like him. So I was like, this is crazy. I said, no, like, I'm not gonna do that. Then he keeps asking. He says, like, oh, I have a bottle in my car. We can drink it. Like, you know, like, why don't we just go to a place for a little bit? Blah, blah. And I'm like, no means no, sir. Remember we had this conversation earlier and I said that when I say no, it means no? After I had that conversation, that's when he, like, stopped again. So at this point, I'm, like, really uncomfortable. Like, I just wanted to get the fuck out of there, honestly. So the rest of the night was just whatever. It wasn't, like, anything crazy. The food was literally insane. It was amazing. And if it wasn't for the food, that would have been the worst time of my life. I don't know, looking back, I'm like, I should have just left in the middle of the dinner, but I didn't know what to do. I literally never had a bad date before. Yeah, so I understand why people meet for drinks now. Because I could tell from meeting him for, like, 10 minutes that I wasn't gonna like him. So yeah.
No, because why did literally nobody warn me about how rough the dating scene is right now? Oh, no. I have quite literally not dated in a few years because I've had crazy things going on. So I'm like, okay, let's calm down. Let's get on Hinge. Let's get out there and let's live our life. Okay, so I've been talking to this guy for 2 months. This is our third date, and he was like my top pick, or like I was very excited about him. It just seemed like a lot of our things in our life superficially like added up and could work well together. So I was very excited. But I felt like not recently, the whole time, his texts and Snapchats have just kind of been like meh, and there wasn't much like depth or intention or like trying to get to know me better or like giving me more info like about him. So I was like, this third date's gonna be really telling. Okay, awesome. So I'm assuming he's gonna pick me up. I assumed wrong. He wanted to meet there, but it ended up that he had like a thing with his roommate right before. So I was like, that totally makes sense. And he's like, how about we meet at this place to eat and then go to the hockey game at 7:15. So 6, eat and grab drinks, 7:15, go to the game. Perfect. Awesome. The place he suggested was it's like a swanky little food court place. You can grab and eat different things and then all eat together. Yeah, like a food court. It's really cute. And yeah. So I'm parking at 5:55 and I get a text. Hey, I'm going to be like a quarter past that hour, past 6. I just called an Uber. What? An Uber? For context, we don't live in a city where you need to Uber unless you're drunk or plan on being drunk. If you've ever been at Boise, Idaho, you know that. Okay, so I was confused. I didn't say anything about it. And I was like, okay, I'll let you know where I'm sitting when I find a spot. I wanted to be so polite and respectful. And I was like, I need to wait to order food to eat with him. Like, that's so rude of me. people are late. I've been late. That's no big deal. Like, I was really annoyed that he texted me at 5:55 that he had just called an Uber. But I was like, things happen. You can come back from that easy peasy. There's no way I'm holding that against somebody. But I was so freaking hungry. I thought I was going to pass out. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to order food, take a few bites of protein, and then like eat it slower so I can still eat food with him when he gets here. He ends up getting there at like 6:35, and immediately he was like, didn't come over and hug me or anything, just sat right across from me, and he's like, oh, sorry, the Uber was weird. And I'm like, yeah, 30 minutes is crazy. And I should have not said that, but I was just like, I didn't know what to say. I was like, but yeah. And then I was like, you should probably get your food because the lines are long, or there's a longer wait time. And he goes, oh, I already ate. What? You already what? I immediately in that moment went to go check my texts because I said, did I make it up? Am I crazy? Did he not say, let's grab something to eat and a drink? No, he did. Yeah, he did. And then he proceeded to be like, you got here right at 6? Like, all surprised. I'm like, yeah, that's when you told me to be here. He's like, oh, usually my family and friends like add 15 minutes to whatever I say because I'm usually late. Again, I am too personally. But I was like, oh, okay, well, I'm not your friends or family, and nor did I know that about you. But also, it's the third date. That shouldn't be a thing. And if it is a thing, you text the person right when you find out you're going to be that late. But again, that's something you could come back from. Inviting me to eat and a drink and then eating before and showing up half an hour late. He then has the gall to be like, are you okay? You seem a little tense. I have a history of letting boys walk all over me and me being a people pleaser and like letting them treat me like shit. So I'm like, no, I'm fine. I'm just a little hungry and I'm just letting it settle. He gets me a drink there at the restaurant place, whatever. He gets a beer. At the game, he has 2 more additional beers. I have 1 beer. And then we go to a lounge after, and I buy us cocktails. He drinks that cocktail, I drink mine. And then he buys himself another cocktail and only drinks like a third of that because it was too much. Because he was drinking all day with his roommate, which is why they Ubered. And then he changed and got ready and then came to our date and continued to drink more. And so he got sleepy tired by the end, pretty quickly. And I felt like shit. My feelings were hurt. I felt disrespected, and I don't know why I stayed. I just felt like it'd be rude again to leave. At the hockey game, they were playing like lots of 90s songs. He really likes 80s and 90s. And he was like, oh, like would say so-and-so, like a band name. I'm like, I don't know who that is. I know the song. He's like, you don't know who that is? And it seemed like he was like actually annoyed that I didn't know who it was. And then I'd be like, oh, you know who this is? And he's like, oh, I've heard the song. I'm like, it's Madonna. Like, you know who that is? Giving him shit back. And maybe he really didn't actually care. I couldn't really tell or read him well. But there was like, my screensaver changes and he knows I have cats, but I haven't really talked about them yet. I'm like, oh, these are my cats, Boots and Star, look how cute and fluffy they are, like just being a little silly. And he was singing to a song and I didn't know if he heard me, so I looked over and he goes, sorry, I'm really locked in, and said like the artist's name and like continued to sing, like didn't even say anything about my animals. You don't have to like cats or animals, it's fine. I just gave me the ick. And there was like a few other times like that as well. I feel like I had very good conversation questions or like just like statements about my own life that were very open-ended to like add, where he could easily add. I'm like, and this is how I, with my friends and family and how I not interact, but like this is what's important and the people I love, and that's how kind of my life works a little bit. And for him to have an opening of being like, this is how I am with my friends and how we are with each other and how we keep in touch. And, you don't need to go into too much sappy detail, but it was an opening to like, tell me more about yourself. No, there was nothing. It was very snooze fest, if I'm being honest. I just wanted to, I know you can't rush getting to know someone, but when I say it was so surface level, it was like I learned nothing new from the first date because we talked about everything over text. I learned a little bit, but then on the second date, it's pretty much the same. And then the third date, I learned a tiny bit, but nothing that was like important to really dating. It was like little things, tiny things. Okay, so then we go to a lounge afterwards. I lost my mom in May. She was a single mother. I was the only child, just the two of us. He knew this, okay? I mentioned having a rough few years with my family, and he also said that he had a rough few years, and we haven't talked about it at all. And so I'm like, okay, this might be the time where we discuss it. And I was like, yeah, after my mom had passed in May. And he's like, I'm so sorry. And he was like, yeah, I was right there with both of my parents. I'm going to stop and pause and say that I work with behavioral health. I am a case manager. I'm a psych major. I'm very empathetic. When in the support groups for like losing a parent to early dementia or losing a parent at an young age, you can't even compare different scenarios because they're so different, but you can empathize as much as possible and you kind of have a little bit of connection because you can relate to certain things. So I have no idea what he's gone through. And he's like, I was right there with both my parents. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. Like, are they okay? And he was like, yeah, they both had stage 1 cancer. And I'm not diminishing the effects and trauma that cancer has on a family and an individual. I saw my mom go through it with her breast cancer, stage 3. I saw it. I was never personally scared that she was gonna pass from that because it was like really early stage 3 and treatable. And I was like, are your parents okay? Are they in remission? He was like, oh yeah. And he told me about his dad and he's like, yeah, and he's good. And I'm like, and your mom? And he's like, oh yeah, she's good. But yeah, I've been right there. You're 29 years old and you can't even tell that that's inappropriate to say to somebody? He then asks what she passed from. I give him the synopsis of frontal temporal dementia and then my grandpa's Lewy body dementia, and it all happened within a few years, and why it was very traumatic for my family and I, and it was a lot. And again, single mother, only child. He has multiple siblings. He has both parents, and continues to say, I was right there. And not everybody has the right things to say when you talk about death. It's uncomfortable, absolutely. But after I explained what they both passed from, he was like, yeah, people die. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Oh, I know. You don't, but I do. Just kidding. Yep, it was an awesome date.
Let's just go crazy with story times. I'm already ready, so don't get ready with me, but stay and listen. My first date experience starts off with a man in a Spider-Man suit. It was Halloween night last year, and me and my homegirl were at Walmart. We're walking out. She sees a group of guys that she thinks is cute. What does she do? She fucking barks at them. Full on, like, from her soul, like, woo! Like, barks at them. They naturally flip their head over and they're like, who the fuck is barking at us? I shove her into the car. I'm like, let's fucking go. Because we're on the way to a Halloween party. I'm dressed damn near naked. I'm wearing a one piece that's shorts and then an Attack on Titan jacket on top with a little straps. You know how to get in. She's wearing a really cute little racing outfit. Loved it. Oh my gosh, I literally wanted to eat her up right there. But I'm saying, you know, our asses are out. We cannot be barking at random men because that's putting us in danger. Let's get in the car. We get into the car. They follow us for 10 minutes, right? They follow us for 10 minutes around this town. Eventually, I'm out of gas because I was supposed to get gas immediately after Walmart. So I pull into the Quick Trip, a little Midwest girly over here. We pull into the Quick Trip. They follow us because I thought we lost them. No, they found us because I was in a big-ass white Jeep, okay? With multiple dents and bumper stickers. It's very recognizable. They pull in front of us. We're at the gas pump. They're over in the parking spaces. Two of them run out to our windows, one on each side. One's on my window. I haven't even gotten out to pump gas yet. One's on her window. They're flirting it up with us. The guy who came to my window, he was the driver in their car. He was T. Like, he was baddie, okay? And I was like, you still did, in fact, follow us. Granted, I did make it a little bit of a game. I was revving my little Jeep engine. There we go. Eventually, we exchanged socials, and they're like, hey, you're trying to go to a function with us tonight? Like, y'all are dressed for one. I was like, sure, let's go. The one that we were going to ends up getting canceled. So we're like, not going there. Or no, it didn't get canceled. It ended up being shadoo-doo. The first one ended up being so bad. I'm talking, the toilet was overflowing from the bathroom with vomit in it, mind you, overflowing from the bathroom, vomit water all over the floor, into the living room, onto the hardwoods, onto the carpet. We're walking around. They said no shoes. Fuck you mean no shoes? We're stepping in vomit water, bitch. So whatever, we leave that function and I'm like, okay, this is totally fine. We invite the boys to the next function that we're going to. So I give the guy that came up to my spot, he was like, we need a costume. And I was like, oh my gosh, you do need a costume. Luckily, I have a Spider-Man costume in the back of my car. And I look damn good in that too. I was supposed to wear that in case we went to a different function and if I spilt on myself or something. So it fits him because it's stretchy. He wears it. He looks nice in it. Okay. He's a little bit taller than me. I don't even remember this dude's name. Started with a J. Jack? Obviously a J name though. But so we're sitting in the McDonald's parking lot. He was like, where's the move? Where's the move? Where's the move? I was like, I don't fucking know. Okay, it got canceled. We're still looking. We ended up not going to anything together. Mind you, there's 4 boys in the car. There's me and Julie, 2 of us. I was also kind of worried because I'm like, they outnumber us. I'm a cautious bitch, kind of. Whatever, we go home. He ends up texting me on Snapchat. He was like, hey, I really think we should go out sometime. I'm like, fuck yeah, like, you're cute. Like, even though you're kind of weirdo and you followed us, like, let's do it anyways. So we end up going to the movie theater. This is where it gets bad. I looked a little chopped, okay? I went heavy on the makeup and I was wearing some bum-ass clothing, right? But we're going to the movies. You want to be comfy, and I wanted to look good in the dark lighting. Never go to the movies for your first date. You can't talk. You can't do but fuck nothing. He's over here kind of like feeling on my leg a little bit, and I'm not having it. We're in the movie theater, so I just kind of sit away from him. But we're talking before the movie starts, and there is absolutely no flow. I'm literally just sitting here yapping, and then once I stop myself, he does not, like, elaborate on anything I says. He just goes on to a new topic, yaps about something fucking random. I don't even remember what it was. It was that bad. And I'm sure he felt the same about me. I'm sure this is probably one of his worst date experiences as well. So, at one point, mind you, we're watching the second Venom movie. Neither of us have seen the first Venom movie. So we're a little lost. I started asking him questions, and he's like, well, I didn't see the first one either. Oh, then why'd you want to go see this movie? And at one point, I turned to say something to him because he like whispers something and I can't hear him. I burp in his face. I don't know if he noticed and didn't really say anything, but I'm praying that it didn't smell like anything because boy, I was hawking down that popcorn and slushy. Not gonna lie. And if you know anything about those fuck ass movie theater slushy, they're so good, but they are literally 80% air. You will be burping, you will be farting. I'm sorry. But so there's absolutely no chemistry here. Like he's kind of put off, I'm kind of put off. I don't even remember what he was talking about, and he was like so awkward and so like reserves. And I'm a very outgoing person, so I'm thinking like I did something wrong that this guy does not like something about me now. Like this guy doesn't like me for some crazy ass reason that probably is very valid because I'm hard to get along with. Well, I'm easy to get along with. I'm hard to date. I'm hard to be with, and that's okay. We ended up leaving the movie theater. He paid for the tickets and everything. We drove separate because I hate being picked up to dates because I feel like something's going to go wrong and I need an escape plan. So we are walking back to our cars. He walks me back to my... Oh, let me get in frame. He walks me back to my Jeep and he's just staring at me. Like, he's just staring at me. And I'm like, is he looking at me? Is he contemplating if he wants to kiss me? Is he contemplating if he wants to never see me again? Does he have something on his mind he wants to say? He's literally just staring at me outside of my Jeep. So I'm like, okay. And I kind of move closer to him and I'm like, hey, like, this was fun. Like, thank you so much for the date and like everything. Like, I do appreciate it. We should go out again sometime. Because I'm just kind of like being polite, but at the same time, like maybe I didn't get to know him enough and maybe like I should give it a second chance. He goes, yeah, definitely. Like, that sounds great. Like, I had a great time. Okay, have a good night. Walks back to his car, whatever. I get into my car. We're talking, or like I'm talking to my friend. Like, this was kind of a disaster, but like maybe I'll see him again. I found out like a week later, because we had still been talking, still been snapping, still planning our next hangout. But a week later, my friend who I met them with initially texted me and she was like, your man is hitting on my friend asking for a 2-man tonight. I was like, damn. All right. My bitch got took. Goodbye. So it's not really like, that was kind of the end of it. He never gave me back my Spider-Man suit. I really missed that thing. It was perfect. It was literally a $4 thrift store find that fit me like a glove. Like, I adored that thing. But he has it, and his pictures are still up in his Instagram, I think. But yeah, it's not crazy of a date because that's the only like official date I've really been taken on. Well, I've been taken on like maybe 2 or 3 more. But, like, that was one of the only official dates I've been taken on. So I can't really have a good bad date story. Because most of my experiences with men are bad. But the only dates I've really had is that one. Could have been worse. Could have been way worse. But it wasn't a good experience. Wasn't a good time. So that's all I got to share for you.
All right, y'all. So, story time / get unready with me. I just remembered recently a date that I went on when I was like 16. No, I was 17. I was 17 years old and I went on this date with this guy who had added me on Snapchat because, you know, the shout out for shout out thing that everybody used to do. He met me and basically, I guess he thought it was cute, so he kept snapping me, and I'm definitely a person who leaves people on delivered. I'm not opening your shit. I'm not opening it. I'm not doing it. It's just a burden. I don't want to do it. Look how dirty this is from taking off my makeup. Okay, got it on. He ended up texting me and sliding up on like a few of my stories saying I was really pretty, and you know, no validation for me during that time, just like felt like a warm like I fell into it because again I had no boyfriend for a while, and so I was kind of yearning just a little bit. He asked if we could go on a date and I was like, absolutely. Like, I haven't been taken on a date like ever before that. Like, I've always paid for my own shit. I've always like gone on dates but went 50-50, so that's not a date. Oil cleanse. He asked me to meet him at his house and we had FaceTimed a few times, so I knew he wasn't like fake. Damn, I didn't take my ring off. Fuck. Okay, I got it off, but like I'm wasting all my oil. Okay. I went to his house because he asked if he lived a little farther out. I didn't want him to have to come pick me up and then go take me to the aquarium, which is where our date was going to be. We were going to get something to eat and then go to the aquarium. I met him at his house and he came up to me with a single rose. And I was just like, okay, cute. We ended up, you know, just talking for a little bit in his room. He showed me around and then we went to Walmart, walked around Walmart. Nothing different, nothing weird about that. That's just like a normal thing to do in like small buttfuck Missouri. Is like there's nothing to do really, so like to go hang out we would go to Walmart or Sonic. After that we went and we met his dad for lunch and I was like, period, I just met this guy and I'm meeting his dad for lunch. Great. And we're sitting down, we're eating at a Chinese buffet, and then everything's really nice, and then his dad spits some shit out of his mouth saying, oh, she looks like this guy. Huh? Proceeds to pull up the ugliest fucking picture I had ever seen in my life. The ugliest, most shittiest, dudiest man I've ever seen in my life, and says, you look like him. Oh, hell no. Okay, so I'm gonna silent the rest of the time because like there's no fucking way you're talking to me like that. After that, we went to a tire place and I just fucking stood around having to pee and almost pissed myself for like an hour, it felt like, and then we finally went to the aquarium, which mind you was almost closed. He ended up taking me to the aquarium and we got to the aquarium and we had already communicated like a few times on the phone previous that he was gonna pay for my ticket, to not worry about it, whatever, yada yada yada. But one thing about me is I'm always going to come prepared. So, like, if something needs paid for and it's a little bit of a larger sum of money, I'm definitely going to bring money just in case because, like, I don't want to expect anything. I don't want to be left fucking underwhelmed. So I just always assume the worst. I assume the worst. I was right. I was right. Okay, so he walks up to the lady, the ticket booth, and he proceeds to say, 2 separate, please. Oh, okay, got it. Oh, okay, so I'm just gonna pay $50 for my ticket? I'm just gonna pay $50 for my ticket that you said you were gonna pay for, okay? Is that okay? Is that okay with you? $50 down the drain that I didn't expect to spend, but you know what? At least I came prepared. And then we're walking through this aquarium, and I love aquariums. That's just, I do. I love going out, and I love animals and I love all that kind of shit. So like I'm paying attention, looking at all these sea animals, and halfway through he's like like not exaggerating, he went how old are we? How old are we? Right, 17 and he was 18. Right, so talk to me. I needed to go. Okay? I was already pissed off and fed up. And it's nothing really eventful. We ended up getting there like really late. So by the time that we had went through the first part, the second part wasn't open anymore. So like we went through the first half and then just had to leave because it was closed. Okay, I don't like doing this, but I didn't pre-record it and I'm recording this on TikTok. So part 2. But you're gonna have to wait for part 3.